You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, GH watchers. So I want to talk about the latest twisted scenes between Cyrus Renault and desperate Esme Prince. There were some vibes in that scene that were really disturbing, but also interesting. So we need to address them right here, right now. This is Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we're going to dive into whether Esme's deep-rooted daddy issues could make her the perfect pawn for Cyrus Renault. But before we unpack it, please click subscribe so you don't miss anything. And now let's go there. All right, let's all go there together. Esme Prince is devastated that her little baby Ace Cassadine is gone. She is stunned that Spencer Cassadine handed her son over to Nikolas Cassadine. Maybe, though, he didn't think it through. You know, Spencer just aided and abetted a kidnapping. And don't tease yourself. That was a kidnapping. Nikolas had no rights to go anywhere with that kid. And him taking him as kidnapping and Spencer handing him over was facilitating the crime. Of course, Esme's hands are tied because he told her he'd tell everybody that her amnesia is gone if she runs to the cops. So instead, she ran to the exact opposite of the cops. Esme went right to Cyrus at the hospital to beg for help. And of course, he wanted to know, have you gone to the police? And she didn't give the whole game away, but just basically that she can't. She already knows that Cyrus has some weird fixation on Ace. You know, he showed up at Laura's house and made a big deal out of meeting the baby, calling him his great nephew, saying that they're family. So on Thursday, January 18th's episode, Esme barged into his hospital room at GH using his own words against him. She did not want any of his prayers or any of his religious talk. She just wanted results. Esme asked Cyrus to track down Nikolas so she can retrieve her son. Maybe he can help retrieve her son. But Cyrus kind of ticked her off, you know, talking about how she sees her kid as a possession and it's more that than motherly concern. No matter what, in the end, Esme's words got through to him for whatever reason. If you haven't seen the episode, Esme said that Ace was Cyrus's family and she is too. And then she said, he's been taken from both of us, and asked if he was going to let that happen. She challenged him to be loyal to the family, asked if he'd stand for it. Apparently he won't. Even though Esme left frustrated after getting snippy, Cyrus leaped into action. All right, he didn't leap. He stayed right there in his hospital bed, but he did pull out his phone and make a gesture of leaping into action. So he called his contacts and he has somebody he wants to come see him. So we'll see who that is that he's calling in the favor from. And maybe Cyrus assumes that Laura doesn't want Nikolas running off with baby Ace and doesn't want him arrested for kidnapping since, you know, he's already got charges pending for holding Esme hostage in his castle. I don't think Cyrus, you know, would have anybody he knows hurt Nikolas, but he might push to try to retrieve Esme's son for her. However he does it, there's somebody coming to see him at the hospital and he's going to press on them to try and get the kid back. Can you imagine how grateful Esme would be to Cyrus if he made it happen? If Cyrus does get Ace back, what sort of repayment, though, would he expect from Esme for what he did for her? I mean, the skeeviest thing would be sex. I don't see Esme turning him down if that's what she had to do, but I actually don't think he would ask for that. Rather than a romantic or a sexual relationship, I could see those two twisted weirdos having a bizarre father-daughter dynamic. You know, Cyrus gets weirder by the day. He asked Nina to put him on television. So I wonder if GH is going to wind up with him being Brother Cyrus, the televangelist. I mean, he could treat Esme like a beloved daughter that he gets to control. And she responded to that kind of sick, twisted, controlling thing with Ryan. He could treat little Ace like a beloved grandson that he also gets to control. I mean, I can see Esme agreeing to literally anything if it means keeping herself out of prison and getting Ace back from Nikolas and keeping him out of Nikolas and Spencer's clutches. Cyrus is so warped that long term, it'd probably be dangerous for her to be involved with him, but short term, maybe it's better than her other choices. She is going to run to Ava also. I cannot imagine she's going to get any sympathy from that quarter. So just as Cyrus got himself out of prison early, maybe he can get those looming charges against Esme permanently dropped. Also, I've been wondering how they'd keep Esme on the show once her memories are back. I mean, Avery Pohl is an amazing little actress to me. I think they'd be foolish not to keep her if they can figure it out, because right now she's painted into a corner. But I mean, Ava shot Sonny's fiance back in the day. She's still around. Nina cut a baby out of Ava and stole it. She's still around. So never say never. I would actually welcome Esme walking around, not as an amnesiac, but as someone who got away with it all, because that would make her so diabolical. I've told you guys here before, I'm kind of a fan of the villain. I loved Franco, no matter how much, and I did enjoy his redemption arc, but I also enjoyed his villainous arc. I like when Stone Cold is dark and dangerous. I enjoyed Victor Cassadine. I enjoy all the Cassadines. I'm a villain girl. So, and let's be real. More than 2/3 of Port Charles citizens have killed somebody. Even Laura Spencer. I think she's killed 2 people. No one in Port Chuck has clean hands. They are liars or cheaters or killers or a combination of all of the above. So Esme would be in good company even if she gets away with the crimes. So she could be Cyrus's little companion as he explores life as a TV preacher. I mean, he can have her with her sweet little conservative outfit sitting to the side while he's at his pulpit, sitting with her adorable baby where everybody can see them. And I do think with Esme's clear traumatic daddy issues, she might enjoy Cyrus being her pseudo daddy. I mean, she's never really had parents that cared about her. Her adoptive parents shipped her off to school, and she was raised wealthy, but basically also raised by a nanny. She's not really had functional parents in her life. Not that Cyrus is or ever could be a functional parent. He's also never had a kid of his own, so I could see him playing some twisted game with Esme to give him that sense of being a father. I think that's part of why he likes the idea of himself as a preacher, being a father to his flock. And if he's got Esme on his side and in his flock, I think he'd be happy. Of course, Laura, if any of this comes to pass, Laura would not like any of it. And, we also have to consider once Laura knows Esme has her memories back, she's probably going to change her tune on Esme anyway. With the truth about her amnesia being gone coming out soon, she's going to be one of the most hated people in Port Charles. But Cyrus, of anybody, wouldn't hold any of that against her. So are Cyrus and Esme about to start playing house with some weird, creepy, disturbing father-daughter dynamic if he gets her kid back? Maybe. I mean, it could happen. I think it would be creepy and interesting and soapy to watch, but we'll find out. What do you guys think? Would you like to see it happen this way? Just to confirm, because I'm super transparent here with you guys, there are no spoilers indicating whether or not Cyrus gets the kid back and whether Esme and Cyrus get closer. This is just how I feel the storyline might go based on the current episodes that we saw. I always want to be very clear with you guys when I have spoilers for you versus when we're having a what if conversation. Definitely drop your comments below. I love reading your comments. Please click subscribe if you haven't, and definitely come back soon, because this is Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we are talking General Hospital here 7 days a week.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.